Hey everybody, coming back at you guys with another Bitcoin video. So today I want to talk a little bit about the electric car and its significance to Bitcoin and what's happening in Bitcoin today. We all know the story of the electric car. The auto industry had a problem where cars were creating too much pollution. Someone came about with a solution to that, which was the electric car. And so essentially what happened was everybody in the auto industry goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Um, we're happy with the auto industry the way it is today. We're making tons of money. We don't need this change, and if this is going to be the future, it's really going to take away from all this money we were planning on making with all these cars we've designed. And so what happened was they go, you know what, we probably make more money suppressing the electric car than competing with it. And so what happened was, let's say there was two electric car companies, then the collective of the auto industry or individual companies decided to say, hey, why don't we just buy them and then never release the product, and then we can keep selling our product, and it's like that product never really is going to make it to the people, so it'll never really affect our income, and it'll never really um, be a thing till we let it be. And so what happened was, first it was two car companies, electric car companies, and then it was four, and then eight, right? And so at a certain point, it was too much to suppress. Too many people were trying to make electric cars for the auto industry to buy all those companies. And so, as we know, anything that is a solution will break through one day, and so it broke through. And so, basically, what happened was you've got like companies like company like Tesla, which is probably the first company to actually break through. It wasn't the first electrical car company ever, but it was the first one that broke through as a real car that got released to the public and actually made it to the streets and consumers were enjoying. And so what happened was, you know, uh, Tesla made more money than all other car companies combined last year, right? And so it shows you that like why would you suppress this when if you were to embrace it, you'd be the most lucrative when it actually happens, right? And as we know, every single auto company around the world, like every car company, is now making an electric car or multiples, right? And so all the same companies that suppressed the electric car are now the same to be embracing it because it was inevitable. They were going to have to get into it. And so, similar to Bitcoin, what's happening is Bitcoin came around and it's like sort of like fixes all the problems with the world with like finances. So banks and countries and large corporations and how they play with money and manipulate it. It sort of solves all of these problems, right? So like, if you want to send $1 million to China on a Saturday, you can't do that through your regular bank. You would have to do that through Bitcoin, right? And so like that's just one example of like a solution it solves. Obviously, there's the other stuff like it can't suffer from inflation, and it's a true store of value, and it's non-centralized. So there's a lot of things that helps fix, but let's just focus in on this one thing. And so um, and so now you've got these bankers. They go, whoa, 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 whoa. We're happy with the way banking is today. We're happy with the way money is today. We're making a lot of money with it and manipulating it. And so they said to themselves, like, it would probably be in our benefit to suppress Bitcoin, right? Because it solves all these problems, right? And so all of a sudden, what happened is the Bitcoin's price is all based on what's going on in centralized exchanges. So things like Coinbase, the app. What happens is what's going on those apps is where we get the price for Bitcoin, right? So there's tons of people who like don't buy and sell Bitcoin on these exchanges, and so when they buy and sell, it doesn't affect the price at all. And so what happens is these giant banks that make trillions of dollars off of banking, right? All they got to do is buy a few $1 million worth of Bitcoin on one of these exchanges and sell it at a loss, or basically they can manipulate the market and drive the price down, right? And it's fine for them because they make trillions of dollars every year off banking, right? So what is it to them to suppress something for the cost of a couple of millions that's going to help them make a couple of trillion, right? So it's just, we get fees for everything in banking, exchange rates, account fees, wire transfer fees. Anyways, there's a million ways banks make money, and when Bitcoin has its way, all these banks are going to be sort of like DeFi. It's just they're going to have to compete with free versions of themselves, right? Where people can send and receive money for like a penny versus like a few dollars. And so, they don't like that. They don't want that. They want to make that money while they still can. So they're going to suppress Bitcoin. But in the end, it is the answer to a problem, and it will win. Now, another thing I always hear is like, well, what if something better than Bitcoin comes? Well, just imagine something better than the electric car came today. What would happen would be all these people who have invested in making electric cars today would want to suppress this future car so they can make money off of their investments they've already made into electrical cars. So sort of similar to what happened with fossil fuel burning cars is the fossil fuel cars suppress the electric cars, and then eventually they started making the electric cars, and then if something comes around that's better than that, they'll suppress that while they can make money off the electric cars, and then vice versa. If something came around to be a better store of value or a better form of money than Bitcoin, what would happen is Bitcoin people would probably suppress it for a while to make money off of the Bitcoin system. And then eventually, like anything, it would break through because it is a solution to a problem. So hopefully this like opened your guys' eyes on a different perspective to look at Bitcoin. I really like looking at Bitcoin as the electric car, as the world of money. So I really think it is the exact same thing that's going on there. A bunch of greedy people want to keep making money they made, and in the long run, it'll be at their detriment where someone else will make a large amount of money when they are trying to catch up. So that's what my opinion is and my thoughts are with suppression, Bitcoin, and electric cars. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below.